Hello, hello! Pizza Pax here, and we're back with our 8th guild kit. This is Azorius, so blue-white. Let's get into this. Right. As with our other kits, we have a guild mage intro sheet, the deck list, and a nice portrait of one of the characters. Our guild emblem sticker. This one's a little more cream than white. And a nice themed tuck box for the deck. With some nice little details like the guild emblem through a little peek window on the front. Alright, I'm getting into the deck box. We have a nice themed D20 with a guild emblem on it. And this one actually has a much larger emblem because it fits perfectly in the space. And a really nice emblem enamel pin. I like that one. Can really make out the maze of bureaucracy on the Azorius guild emblem there. We have a exclusive art promo just for these decks. This one is Asperia, Supreme Judge. 2 white, blue for 6/4 legendary creature Sphinx. With flying. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, you may draw a card. Very nice. Then we have the deck itself. Starting off with Pride of Clouds, which was a fantastic card back in Dissension, when this was originally printed, with great art by Rebecca Guay. But for white-blue, you have a 1/1 elemental cat with flying. It gets +1/+1 for each other creature with flying on the battlefield, and then has forecast. 2 white-blue, reveal Pride of the Clouds from your hand. Create a 1/1 white and blue bird creature token with flying. Very nice. We have Sphinx of Foresight. 2 blue for a 4/4 Sphinx. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, scry 3 at the beginning of your first upkeep. Flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. This saw quite a bit of play with Fires of Invention when it was in Standard. Then we have Lavinia of the 10th, which was the portrait that we had. But for 3 white-blue, we have a 4/4 legendary human soldier with protection from red. When it enters the battlefield, detain each non-land permanent your opponent's control with converted mana cost 4 or less. Until your next turn, those permanents can't attack or block, and their activated abilities can't be activated. Windreaver, another great card from Dissension. This was a lot like our version of Morphling for Ravnica. It was a good closer for blue-white control decks, and other control decks. But 3 blue-white for a 1/3 elemental with flying. For a white, it gains vigilance until end of turn. For a white, it gets +0/+1 until end of turn. For a blue, you switch its power and toughness until end of turn. And for another blue, you can return it to its owner's hand. We have Asperia the Inscrutable. 1 white, blue for a 3/6 legendary Sphinx with flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, choose a card name. That player reveals their hand. If a card with the chosen name is revealed this way, search your library for a creature card with flying, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Then we have Archon of the Triumvirate. 5 white-blue for a 4/5 Archon with flying. Whenever it attacks, detain up to 2 target non-land permanents your opponents control. Nice. Unbreakable Formation. 2 and a white, instant. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Addendum. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. Nice. Detention Sphere. 1 white blue enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent not named Detention Sphere and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. When Detention Sphere leaves the battlefield, return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. Now this is the older templating, so that if you bounce it in response to its ability, you just get rid of them forever. Render Silent. White, blue, instant, counter target spell. Its controller can't cast spells this turn. Very nice. It's a silence and a counter spell strapped together. Dovescape. This has some really fun combos that you can do with it. The 3 and a hybrid white-blue, hybrid white-blue, hybrid white-blue enchantment. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, counter that spell. That player creates X 1/1 white and blue bird creature tokens with flying, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. Sphinx's Revelation. This was a whole mood back in Return to Ravnica. But X white blue instant, you gain X life and draw X cards. Warrant and Warden. Warrant. Hybrid white-blue, instant. You target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Warden. 3 white-blue sorcery. Create a 4/4 white and blue Sphinx creature token with flying and vigilance. Then we have some bird tokens. 5 bird tokens, in fact. On the backside, it's 4 Thopters and a Sphinx. Very nice. We have 2 Judges Familiar. For hybrid white-blue, you get a 1/1 bird with flying. Sacrifice it, counter-target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1. So it is... It's not quite Force Spike. I forget the exact card that did that. It might have been Envelop. We have Azorius Guildmage, hybrid white-blue, for 2/2 Vidalcan Wizard. 2 and a white, tap target creature. 2 and a blue, counter target activated ability. You get one of those. There's Azorius Herald. This was used pretty heavily along with... this was part of Solar Flare, I believe it was. Back in the original Ravnica block. But for 2 and a white, you get a 2/1 Spirit that can't be blocked. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless blue is spent to cast it. Stoic Ephemera. 2 and a white for a 5/5 Spirit with Defender and Flying. Whenever it blocks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. Court Hussar, also used in Solar Flare. 2 and a blue for a 1/3 Vidalcan Knight with Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless white was spent to cast it. Hover Barrier. 2 and a blue for a 0/6 Illusion Wall with Defender and Flying. Liev Sky Knight. 1 white-blue for a 3/1 Human Knight with Flying. When it enters the battlefield, detain target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Spirit of the Spires. 3 and a white for a 2/4 Spirit with Flying. Other creatures you control with Flying get +0/+1. Azorius Justicare. 2 white for 2/2 Human Wizard. When it enters the battlefield, detain up to 2 target creatures your opponents control. Skymark Rock. 2 white-blue for a 3/3 bird with Flying. Whenever it attacks, you may return target creature defending player controls with toughness 2 or less to its owner's hand. Sphinx of New Prov. White, blue for a 4/3 Sphinx with Flying and Vigilance. Spells your opponents cast the target Sphinx of New Prov costs 2 more to cast. Very nice. Windstorm Drake. 4 and a blue for a 3/3 Drake with Flying. Other creatures you control with Flying get +1/+0. Sky Hussar. Another great one that was used in Solar Flare, but 3 white and a blue for 4/3 Human Knight with Flying. When it enters the battlefield, untap all creatures you control or cast. Tap 2 untapped white and or blue creatures you control. Reveal Sky Hussar from your hand. Draw a card. Great way to build up card advantage. And it also combos off with Kiki Jiki, which was also in Standard at the time. Azorius Chancery, we have 4 copies of that. That's the blue-white Karu. The Azorius Guildgate, the blue-white gate. We have 4 of those as well, with 2 different arts. We should have 8 Azorius-themed planes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 Azorius-themed islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next we have Sky Tether. For a white, you get an enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has defender and loses flying. 2 Azorius Signets, the blue-white signet. Summary Judgment. 1 and a white for an instant. Deals 3 damage to target tapped creature. Addendum, if you cast a spell during your main phase, it deals 5 damage to that creature instead. Azorius Charm, white-blue instant. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Draw a card, put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Dramatic Rescue. White-blue instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. You gain 2 life. Azorius Key Rune. 3 mana artifact. Taps for a white or a blue, and then for a white and a blue, it becomes a 2/2 white and blue bird artifact creature with flying until end of turn. Sphinx's Insight. 2 white-blue instant. Draw 2 cards. Addendum, if you cast this during your main phase, you gain 2 life. And then we have Depose and Deploy. Depose, 1 and a hybrid white-blue instant. Tap target creature, draw a card. Deploy, 2 white-blue for an instant. Create 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Then you gain 1 life for each creature you control. Very nice. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on this adventure with the Azorius Guild Kit. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite blue-white spell? Personally, Absorb is one of my favorites of all time, although the various iterations of blue-white Teferi are also pretty fantastic. But let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, stay awesome. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.